Welcome back to another reading. Thank y'all so much for rocking with this series. I am going to try really hard to commit to doing this past this series. It's very easy for me to feel overwhelmed, and work has been working me okay, like my 9 to 5. I mean, the coins have been coming in, praise the Lord, but in terms of me feeling like, can I do it all? Can I manage being seen? Can I manage all of this? Like, it's been a little bit challenging for me. So I'm going to try to push myself to do one weekly reading on the YouTube channel outside of this Mercury Retrograde series. I'm going to try real hard because I really like doing this. This has been fun. Y'all have been saying that, the messages resonate and whatnot. So why not? Spirit, I ask that you would mitigate my ego and implicit bias so that I can offer the most effective and accurate reading as possible. I pray that you would use me as a clear channel and vessel, that the messages that I relay will resonate to the collective and that they are beneficial and useful for the furthering of their goals, that these messages bring clarity and peace, that these messages are exactly what the collective needs to hear for their sustenance. With so much love in our hearts, clarity on our lips, and clarity in our minds, and gratitude on our lips, we say thank you. Okay, the song that keeps playing in my head right now is Make That Move by Shalimar. I'm having a really hard time putting words together right now. And I promise I'm not intoxicated. So I take that to be like some of y'all are in this like stuttering space. And what I mean by that is some of y'all are questioning if you should make a certain move. It's not that you're like going back and forth between doing this and doing that. It's like you're going back and forth between, should I do this or should I not do this? Like it's one very specific, clear thing for you. And I feel like the guidance is for you to do that thing. Like the very thing that's scaring the fuck out of you right now, like that's what you need to be doing. I'm seeing the Fool in my mind's eye from this deck. Don't be afraid to come to the shore. So for some of you, this is about like you spending a lot of time in solitude and you learning a lot about yourself, about your triggers, why those triggers take place, why those things are actually harmful or offensive to you. And you're scared about like acclimating yourself to like rejoining society. Spirit is saying, do not be afraid to come to the shore. So don't be afraid to, which is such an odd and specific message because a lot of times the message is like, don't be afraid to leave the shore, right? But for some of you, this is about you coming to shore. It's about, and I'm literally seeing like a lot of like groups of families and like just groups in general, just like sitting on a beach, like they've all got their individual towels and everything. And like you are the one that's coming out of the water. I feel like this is partially a continuation of the energy I channeled on an IG Live a couple weeks ago about, well, probably at this point, a month or so ago, about like you healing your view of leadership, like what leadership looks like and means to you. Some of y'all are afraid to put your gift in the world and be seen as an authority in your field because you've seen other people mishandle their leadership role. That doesn't have to be your story. Wow, that's a really crazy message to come through already. Like, and we just got one card on the deck. Yeah. Confirmation all fucking ready. Okay, let's stop and talk about this. So the first card we have out is here and now. Remember how I was saying it's not about you picking like this or that. It's about you picking like, do I want to do this or do I not want to do this? Your past and future are fighting for you right now. And who will you let win? I'm being drawn to this little flag. I've never read what's on here. Okay, it says you are here. Before you embark on this new journey, before you actually take the leap, the guidance is for you to ground yourself, in the present. Stop daydreaming about or pining after what you think your future needs to look like, and stop reminiscing on how good you think you had it before, because life is about to get sweeter. And I know that probably sounds like such a contradiction. Like, how can you tell me to not pay attention to the future and how good I want it to be? Like, isn't that manifesting? Yes, 100%. But okay, this is the second time this card has shown up during shuffling, so I'm gonna talk about it too. Yes, 100%. Like, stay high vibe so that you can actually call in what it is that you want to call in. But at the same time, realize that you're exactly where you're meant to be. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. So don't get caught up in like trying to chase after what you think you're supposed to be calling in for the future. And at the same time, you don't want to get caught up in your past in terms of like, excuse me, oh, I had it so good back then. Or even if you're sitting there, I know this is, I'm guilty of this myself. Like, if you're sitting there being like, well, I had it so bad back then, and if I didn't have it so bad back then I wouldn't have it so bad right now. Like, pay attention to where you're at right now, because you getting caught up in your thoughts of like your old life versus your new life and your future and all of that, like, this is what's causing you to have those cyclical manifestations that you don't want. And so when I say cyclical manifestations that you don't want, I mean like you constantly asking yourself, like, why do I keep ending up here? Like, how come every time I go to work with somebody it's like this? Or how come every time I get to this point in a relationship it just falls apart? Yes, it's important to ask those questions for clarity and for introspection, but don't be asking those questions in the vein of why, in terms of, oh, it's always like this. Because if you're asking those questions, 9 times out of 10 it has something to do with you. So ask the question of, why am I calling this in multiple times? What is the lesson that I need to extrapolate from that? And that's how you ground yourself in the here and now. It's when you use the lessons of the things from the past to propel you to make better decisions in your future. That's how you get to the place that you want to be. That's how you break the cycle. Spirit, is there another card from this deck that you'd like to speak to? Both of these cards that are out right now have twos. So I feel like that speaks to balance for yourself, balance within. Spirit, is there anything? No. Yeah, like, stop overthinking it. Like I just mentioned, like, you asking these questions from this place of like, oh, well, why does this keep happening to me? Ask that question, yes, but don't ask that question from the perspective of the victim. Ask that question from this perspective of the observer, of the learner. But again, don't overthink it. And then we do have 44 here. I was just speaking about the twos on these two cards and speaking to balance. 44 is the ultimate balance number for me. It often speaks to stability, structure, foundation. The strong foundation that you want to create is not going to be created or built by you overthinking things. You break the pattern, you break the cycle by, yes, being introspective, by thinking through things, but also once you ask the right questions, whether that's you journaling it out or you sitting with yourself and talking to yourself. I do this all the time. It's you getting up and taking those necessary actions after thinking things through. And also realizing that even if it makes good sense to you, it doesn't have to necessarily be true. That seems like an off topic message, but that may have been for a small few of this collective. Spirit, what else do you have to say for this week ahead? What other messages? Okay. Three of Swords. So yeah, this is you being round and round, overthinking round and round about the past. Like you being stuck in this place of like this really big thing that I loved so much and that I had so many hopes, dreams, ambitions for. For some of you, it was an Aquarius, Capricorn is what just came to mind. Aquarius or Gemini or Libra male. You're heartbroken over him, and this is why. Yeah, okay, so it's definitely an Aquarius or a Capricorn. The Star. We had the Star and Queen of Swords for the first reading. I'll put that card up above. Wow, and we had Page of Pentacles. Okay, so I gotta speak to this. Because what I'm seeing here is a broken home. We had Ace of Swords last week, I believe. Every week we've gotten an ace. Every single week we've gotten an ace. So it's funny because the last time we got the Ace of Swords, it was coming through as a breakthrough. This Ace of Swords is coming through as I'm hearing, I'm going to lay down my burdens down by the riverside. And this deck is all about, it's the Mermaid Tarot. So it's all about water and water life. So this is you laying down your sword. And notice how the rope in this one, I might have to insert a clip of the last Ace of Swords, but this rope is unbound. It's just loose. This is the aftermath of last week's reading. So you've finally broken through the mental baggage, the mental bullshit. And this is definitely a pattern. This is something that's been happening for a while because look at all the barnacles. Like this looks like an abandoned ship that's been abandoned underneath the surface, like at the bottom of the ocean or something. This is you finally laying to rest that mental toil, that mental landscape of you just constantly thinking the absolute worst is happening, or that mental loop that you play in your head that this is your own, like this is your plot in life. For some of you, this is an invitation to do some inner child healing. For others of you, an earth sign baby is calling to you to do this healing so that they can finally come through earth side, so that they can join you earth side. For others of you, this is an earth sign baby that's already here and is really hoping that you get your shit together so that they don't have to repeat these generational cycles. The star in reverse is really, to me, I'm also noticing all the swords that we have here and how there's so much blue. This to me is speaking to like the need to speak your mind and how that is what breaks the curse. It's you speaking on it. Now, remember, throat chakra is not about, oh, how can I yappa, yappa, yappa? How can I speak my truth? The throat chakra is about communication overall. It's about how do I listen effectively to someone else's perspective, and how do I make sure that I convey my message in a way that can be understood. Lots of masculine energy here too. So for some of you, there's a need to clear your energy of a masculine. For others of you, it's the need to not operate in your masculine as much. That's what's going to bring the healing in. I'm just really drawn to the fact that both of these cards, like there's something with the mouth. So there's definitely a need to speak your truth, but just remember to speak it in such a way that doesn't cause more damage, more harm. Is there anything else that you want me to say, Spirit? Is there anything else that you want me to say? This Mercury retrograde is definitely showing up as an opportunity to heal old wounds, old patterns. I was definitely thinking and feeling that this was going to be a wonderful opportunity to reshape health, like daily, monthly, whatever health routines. And I feel like that can still be true, especially for me personally. But I really get the sense that from these readings every week, it's really just shown up as like you healing it because of, or you being able to start this new health routine or pay more attention to your body because you are releasing things emotionally. So we have Seven of Swords. Okay, we had Seven of Swords last week. Like, it's so crazy how like week over week, like we keep getting the same cards in different decks. I've intentionally used different decks for each of these readings so that the same cards wouldn't show up. But with the same cards showing up, to me, this communicates that like the message is like loud and clear. The message is for you to break free from your mental turmoil, not overthinking, grounding in the present moment, not getting over the pain, but like using the lesson, learning the lesson. Okay, for some of you, the lesson is to just not put your valuables out in the open for everybody to just use and abuse. That is the message for some of you. But overall, it's you learning and extrapolating lessons from situations and choosing to move different, choosing different actions in the future so that you can yield different results. That is the message that I am seeing for y'all for this week. I hope that it resonated, that it brought some clarity, that it made sense for you. And I hope that this week is a really good one, that you're able to learn from your triggers, that you're able to take a moment to breathe and not get stuck in your head so much, especially with all of this swords energy on the board. But until next time, you know where to find me. All my links are down below. Do not get got by a scammer, please, please, please. You hear how I'm speaking to you now. That's exactly how I type. I do not reach out to people saying, hey, beloved. I feel a strong energy. I'm too busy to feel strong energy off of strangers on the internet, okay? Too busy to reach out to people to ask them for money. So if you would like to give me money and you would like a personal reading, my links are down in the description box below. But I just really want to impress upon you guys not to get got by these scammers. with that being said, I will catch y'all on the next video. Ciao.